Alright guys, got some news for today. This is a little different than normally what I do. Typically we do just gaming, and that's what I'm very much into, but I'm also in the arms dealing business, and that's something else I'm very familiar with, I'm very fond of, I enjoy very much. And the news today is Alec Baldwin killed a lady. And I've been doing some research trying to figure out what's going on, what happened. And I'm seeing a lot of news reports and a lot of coverage using incorrect terms, such as the term misfired. I saw that on a video from ABC Los Angeles, and their title said misfired. Well, for you guys that don't have anything to do with firearms, don't know much about firearms, have never heard of firearms, what happens when you put a round in the chamber of a firearm and you pull the trigger, it's supposed to go bang. That's what they're designed to do. That's what happens. It's not a misfire. It's just firing or discharging a firearm. Alright, so not a misfired. So for the people over at ABC, I hope they do correct that, because that is very misleading. It's either one or two things I'm noticing, because I'm seeing this just from multiple places, and not just ABC, New York Times, and those types of news organizations, but I'm also seeing videos from other people on YouTube, talking about accident, stuff like that. You see that in the title of some of these stories, and there is no such thing as an accidental discharge, okay? That is not something that happens in our industry. There are negligent discharges. When people are careless or not knowing what they're doing, they can shoot a firearm. So I want to make a little quick video for you guys so that you guys understand and know a little bit more about the actual law and what happens, so that none of you guys get in trouble. Because let's be honest, if you or I did what Alec Baldwin did, we would be facing charges of negligent homicide or manslaughter, something along those lines. Okay? The first thing a novice learns in a basic safety firearms course is that when you pull the trigger on a firearm, one of these guys or one of these guys, when you pull that trigger right there, you are responsible for what comes out this barrel, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Until that round falls inert, that is your responsibility. You own it, and the police will come at you. It's not someone else's fault you pulled the trigger, that is your fault. So I've been very kind of not happy with how people are using incorrect terms with this. I don't know if these people don't know what they're talking about, if they just are just out of their field, out of their league, and don't know, or if they're intentionally misleading the public and misleading their community. And I want to think it's more of just not knowing. They don't understand or know what they're talking about. They're just reading what they're told to read. But guys, you are responsible for what comes out that firearm, period. The law is going to come and look at you. Now, in the U.S., if you're rich and you're a celebrity, you definitely have a different rule set than most common folk like us, people that work for a living. We have to go by the law that is in the books, and not everybody has to do that. All right, so there are basically 3 rules that you need to understand. All right. Rule number 1, every firearm is loaded. You consider every firearm loaded until you can prove otherwise that it is unloaded. One thing, that we're talking right now, I could say is kind of funny, but anytime I'm in with like a group of the boys or something like that, and we're looking at firearms, we'll be in a circle, 8, 10 of us or whatever, and we're passing different firearms around. And if I get the firearm, I'll grab the firearm, I'll check the firearm, make sure it's not chambered, it's not empty, and then I'll handle the firearm safely. And then I'll pass it to the guy right beside of me, and he'll also check the firearm that is empty and not loaded before he handles it. And it's like that all the way around. We're passing different firearms and stuff around, but everybody's constantly checking. And it's funny, it really is funny, but when you're in the circle doing that, and when you're actually handling firearms, it's not a joke. Nobody's going to make fun of you. It's nobody's laughing. I'm laughing right now, making fun of it because I have no problem with making fun of myself. I think it's funny, but it is safety. You always make sure that that firearm is not loaded if you're going to handle it. Okay, so that's rule number one. You always treat them like they're loaded until you can prove otherwise that it's not loaded. All right. Rule number two: you never have the bore, or we'll say the barrel. You never have the barrel covering something that you do not wish destroyed. All right. If you put this in front, on top of something, you know, that's why people don't like when you wave pistols around. Like, oh, don't point that at me, even if they know it's loaded, because that's just rule number two. You do not have this barrel cover anything you do not want destroyed. Plain and simple. Do not point a firearm at anybody, even joking and playing around. Do not do it. And then rule number three: you don't put your booger hooker on a trigger until you are ready to pull that trigger. Okay? This is not a finger rest. This isn't a hand rest or anything like this. You make sure you have good trigger discipline and you keep your finger off of it until you are ready to pull the trigger. All right. Just want to make a quick video with you guys talking about that, because that's one of the things that really bothers me when I see like Hollywood movies and news reports that have misinformation in it. I don't like that they are misinforming the public. That's not supposed to be their job. Their job is supposed to be to inform the public, to give the public the facts, and then we make up our mind. They're not supposed to try to persuade us one way or another. That's not what they're supposed to do. But anyway, guys, I know this is a little different than my normal content that I usually do. I do more gaming on this channel, but I want you guys to be safe. I don't want you guys to get in trouble, because honestly, if you or I did what Alec Baldwin did, we would be arrested and charged. Okay? Let's go ahead and be honest here. Yeah, I don't think anything is going to really happen to him much at all. He's not an intelligent man, and I just don't think out there where he's at they're going to do anything to him. Maybe in civil court the family might be able to get some restitution from him, but let's be honest, that lady will not get justice. Her family will not get justice. Her husband lost a wife. Her son lost a mother. She's not coming back, and it is Alec Baldwin's fault. It's not a grip. It's not someone else on set. You are responsible for what comes out that barrel when you pull that trigger, guys. No one is going to be light on me. No one is going to be light on you. They will come after you like they'll come after me if we make a mistake. All right, guys? But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching the channel, guys, and I hope you guys take care. Later.